Welcome to JALT 2020 Online, Communities of Teachers and Learners. Hi, I'm Merissa from Fukushima, and I would like to share with you the impact of narrative book writing autonomy to promote joy in the classroom. In a situation where students show low level of motivation and lack of interest in English, can positive affective dynamics still be part of the classroom experience? This study considers how promoting student autonomy can be an important factor that increases the overall level of happiness and satisfaction of both students and teachers in a Japanese university English class. Teachers have the agency to operate on a continuum between rigid control and allowing permissive freedoms on the part of their students. In this study conducted at university in the Tohoku region between 2017 and 2019, 225 university students were given a high degree of freedom and independence in script writing and co-creating storybooks centered on their own lived experiences. They produced various mini books focused not only on promoting positive psychology, but also on how to improve their physical health. The combination of narrative activity and autonomy led to increased joy and interconnectedness both between students with their teacher and generally within the class. The autonomy that students savored kindled their self-determination and motivation from within as they cultivated shared intentions and goals. After Freire in 2000, who wrote that when teachers and students are free and equal, they can learn together to think critically and create a more positive society. This research hypothesized that providing autonomy motivates students to finish tasks with their classmates and promotes confidence and happiness. And here are the steps students followed to finish their tasks. So 225 students were given autonomy to write their own storybooks and present the same topics during the skit presentation in the classroom as a part of English communication class syllabus. So first, now students were given the autonomy to choose whom they wanted to work with for the completion of the task, and they were allowed to choose topics and ways of writing based on their personal interests and strengths. And then they asked to start brainstorming with the group members about what topic, what messages and characters they wanted to put in their storybook. Students of general English conversation were requested to focus on the messages of the storybooks based on their own or someone else's experiences. And then the inclusion of messages related to the promotion of happiness, kindness, friendship, connectedness, reduction of stress, and the importance of being healthy physically and mentally was highly encouraged. And then the students were asked to write their scripts in their L1, and that is Japanese, so as to express their ideas naturally and deeply. And then English translation based on the original Japanese stories' nuance was done with their teacher. During this polishing period, vocabulary input and then grammatical structures were carefully explained. And in this process, connectedness and trust between students and teachers were developed. And then after three polishing stages, constructive corrections and the kind of caring communication with the students were offered. And finally, students were encouraged to use the same stories they wrote in their skit presentation to strengthen not only their speaking ability, but their interpersonal connectedness as well. The components of my autonomous classroom environment were the students' autonomy, their connectedness to each other, and positive psychology intervention in class. These three were always present so as to ensure the attainment of their happiness, joy, and satisfaction. Here is a list of titles of some of the narrative books they made. Most of these stories are semi-fiction and based on their own experiences. The titles in red are those that I will now go on to introduce more later on in the presentation. Students were asked about their feelings when they were writing their narrative storybooks. As you can see in the graph, 82% revealed that they were happy, 20% had pleasant feelings, found it interesting, and enjoyed themselves. 30% said that writing a narrative storybook was difficult, but in a positive way. Negative feelings about this task were, it's troublesome, I don't want to do it, I feel nervous, ashamed, and find it difficult. But despite of these negative feelings and negative impression about narrative storybook writing, they did able to finish the task. And then here, I'd like to share with you an image of some of the students enjoying autonomy and sense of connection as they finish their tasks. So these students really put their feelings into their work, and I hope to convey this to you now by reading a narrative story in a form of a dialogue. Before I read to you the storybook about Let's Get Rid of Stress, I would like to share to you first the book information. In the book, focus here is about the stress reduction and importance of connectedness. And then the authors, there are four of them, illustrators also the same members, and then book characters, the Raku-kun, Nega-kun, Sumairo-chan, and Anguri-kun. And then, of course, the target ages from 20 and above, and then the themes and ideas. So get rid of stress, connectedness, friendship, and then the vocabulary that they have to remember after writing the script and writing the book and after the presentation. And they are get rid of stress and then eliminate connectedness, bankruptcy, laughter, feeling, breakfast, and others. Just a reminder to all, what I'm going to share is what students did, and you will surely notice some mistakes. I prefer to have mistakes than to have a perfect one because it shows that they did it till the end by themselves. And it also motivates them to embrace mistakes in a positive way and as a part of their second language journey. Let's get rid of stress. Narrator. There were four people working together in a company. Rakukun. Good morning, everyone. Let's have another fun day today. Nega. It's not fun because the thing repeats every day. I like this work. Let's get started early then. And then the narrator said, then suddenly the company announced bankruptcy. You know what? Employees became negative with stress and anger. No worry, let's make everyone smile and laugh. I agree. That's a good idea. Do you know the importance of laughter? Yeah, of course. I have read a lot of books about it. Do you think that we can do it? Of course, we can do it. Four of them went to see the company's president. They told him about employees' negative feelings. Good morning, Mr. President. Could you please make the starting work time a bit late than usual so that everybody can eat breakfast? What? What do you think is the effect of eating breakfast? It fuels your mind and body. That is also good for your brain. It improves your concentration and achievement. Okay, all right, let's try it. Adjusted working hour was implemented. Everybody had enough energy, increased concentration, and no longer frustrated despite what happened. But there were people still cannot eliminate stress. There are still some people who cannot eliminate stress. Yeah, what should I do? I heard it before that relaxing effect can be felt when you hug the person you like. Connectedness is very important. Human touch is important. Eh, but I don't have a girlfriend. Me neither. What to do? Me neither. I don't have a boyfriend. Me neither. I don't have a girlfriend. But don't worry, we can connect with other people in different ways. No good. I want to go home early to drink alcohol. Yeah, alcohol, that's it. What? Why don't we go out and drink together moderately? In that way, we can connect through chatting and sharing our feelings. Yeah, that plan is good. I'm on it. However, I don't know how to talk with other people. Don't worry, because we're here. Why don't we suggest it to the president? Nice idea. And narrator said, four of them went to the president to tell him about their suggestion. That's a good idea, but what are the merits of it? Merits? To be connected to each other. It leads to stress reduction, relieves mental tension after drinking alcohol moderately. How nice! Let's hold a drinking party today then. The next day, they were talking about the improvements in the company and how they had fun in company drinking party. It was a good proposal, right? Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I think I also became a bit positive. I'm not frustrated anymore. I feel better and connected to you all. Me too. I'm no longer frustrated. Now I know the secret. It's positive attitude and connectedness with each other. We are all human and we need it. After that, all of the company's employees started eating breakfast and started thinking positively. They started talking and chatting with their colleagues more often than before. Everybody will continue their best despite what happened in their company. Here you can see the Japanese version. Students were supposed to write the Japanese version below the English version, but were not able because they didn't finish it on time, so they wrote it at the back instead. Yeah, the book itself is touching, but if we reflect on the process of narrative writing, we can see how the intervention of positive psychology in the class was included to strengthen the affective environment such as love, joy, hope, fun, pride, awe, and others. And once autonomy is achieved and students understand what and then why and then how the task should be carried out, the power of control to finish it can be found within them. And the one very positive characteristic, according to Jacob Parrell 2001 of an autonomous classroom, is the strong emphasis on pair and group work as means to develop learner autonomy and be less dependent on the teacher. And this is true, and it was clearly recognized in this study. Okay, so the next narrative story, Tiffany, which is based on someone else's story, will be shown without oral dialogue due to time limitation. It's about forgiveness and friendship. The second book that I'm going to share to you is about Tiffany. As I've said a while ago, that there is no oral dialogue in here. The focus of the book is about forgiveness, jealousy, friendship, and then it runs about 3 minutes. And the authors and then the characters, they chose Tiffany, Kupani, Johnny, and Michael. Kupani is a really cute name. And then the target age is from 4 and above, and then genre is a semi-true story for them, and then the themes and ideas about forgiveness, friendship, and happiness, and then the vocabulary words that they have to remember after the narrative story writing in the presentation are the favorite, dull, suddenly, appear, promise, and bully. Finally, the book attained its goal to convey the message of forgiveness and friendship. And the third book that I'm going to share is about a solitary sad elephant. And the focus of this book is about kindness and self-acceptance. And there are 5 authors and illustrators, and the themes and ideas is about kindness, self-acceptance, happiness, and friendships. And then, of course, the vocabulary words that they had to memorize: solitary, sad, friend, and help. Just like Tiffany book, I will just show you the pictures, and I'm sure you will notice the posted suggestions and corrections for the improvement of the book. So this is actually the first draft. So students were pretty sad after the first draft checking, but they show their grit and to finish the task. And again, the aim of the book to convey the message of friendship and connectedness was achieved. And here is the typewritten final script of the Solitary Sad Elephant book. And then, so one of the benefits of a skit presentation is that it improves students' communicative ability. Students were asked about their feelings about skit presentation. And then as you can see in the graph, some negative feelings were present, and actually more than the script writing and book writing, right? And this included the sense that the skit drama presentation was difficult, nervousness, and nervous now, so finding it troublesome and not wanting to do it. However, most students were happy and enjoyed the presentation, and then they found it interesting and reported having a pleasant feeling after the presentation. Let's talk a little now about how we appraise this project from an educational perspective. Both oral and written assessments were carried out, which examined the content, the vocabulary, grammatical input, and reported and observed connectedness while developing these story books. Assessment of skit presentations of the completed story script was also done. In this case, students were assessed based on clarity of voice, audience impact during the presentation, not blocking audience's view, script memorization, facial expressions, and body language. And prior to the assessment, both scripts in various stages of development, which is from first draft to third draft, were presented to panel of judges made up 3 colleagues who assisted voluntarily with assessment, and then this gave them insight into the way the students' tasks had developed. An important component of each of the skits we have examined was a song. Here are 3 different versions of the Joy song. Participants were asked to think about how to teach this song to their students easily and in an enjoyable way. I got the joy, 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 down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I got the joy, 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 down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. Okay. I've got the joy, in my heart. Oh, down in my heart. Wow, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy. Down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay.
I got that oh, 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 oh.
Down in my heart.
Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I got that
Oh, 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 oh. Down in my heart.
down in my heart to stay.
It is quite amazing that when you provide enough autonomy, an effective environment, and connectedness with the students, they simply ace the task as shown in the 3 video clips. But how about teachers? Effective teachers and leaders already know that the key to sustained success is through an engaged, motivated, and productive environment. Yet, not every teacher or leader knows how to create this in their own environment. When teachers ensure that their students experience meaningful connection, autonomy, mastery, purpose, and progress, they will perform well, feel happy, and grow with their peers rather than feeling unmotivated. Sonia Lyubomitsky, one of the positive psychology's important promoters, defines happiness as the experience of joy, contentment, or positive well-being, combined with a sense that one's life is good, meaningful, and worthwhile. To this great definition, we can add the positive rejoinder and call to action, do happy, which we will return to at the end of this presentation. Also, as a result of the focus on connectedness during this project, the importance of relationship and the problems people have for communicating their needs and wants emerge according to Biroff in 1998. And some of our most powerful needs are emotional. And from the time of birth and throughout our lives and present in every context in our lives. So we might consider that when the 7 needs listed in these slides are met, we are well on the way to solving whatever relationship issues may rise. And this applies both generally and in educational context as well. And these are the attention, affection, acknowledgement, apology, acceptance, approval, and appreciation. And these 7 A's can actually guide us in order to achieve the real connectedness. Based on students' questionnaire feedback about the narrative book writing and skip presentation, grit, resilience, satisfaction, and happiness were reported, despite the restricted feelings they had before they started the tasks. As Minard and Ludwig in 2014 said, autonomous learning is not a specific outcome, but an ongoing process which requires teachers and students to constantly evaluate and critically reflect on their teaching and learning, not only to be successful, but also with overriding satisfaction and joy. And throughout the ages, philosophers and mystics have told us that being happy is achieved through absolute presence to and acceptance of what is right now. Being happy is an inner state of well-being that we alone are able to create for ourselves through personal practices like exercise, meditation, gratitude, selfless contribution, and detachment from outcome. And that is from Do Happy 2020. And the other state, Do Happy, which is I really like to share to you about this, is that warm sense of contentment and satisfaction with how we are spending our time, infused with the motivation to keep moving forward. And it has purpose, it has momentum, it has drive, all vital aspects in the educational process. In future work, I intend to explore in more details the impact of positive psychology and connectedness as mentioned in one of the 7 principles of connectedness. This may help again even further understandings of the impact of these books to promote student psychological well-being. Thank you very much for your attention.